evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Johnny Scab. Tonight on the Scab Report, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the online world. The world of Comicsgate and some of the strange occurrences and people that are in it. Now, I've been around for a long time online. I've come across a lot of strange people. A lot of weird people indeed. And I know a little bit about online safety and what you should do to stay safe online. And you'll find a lot of the time you'll get different varieties of people online, right? Different varieties, different sections. Especially with anonymous people, right? I'm anonymous, I wear a mask, you know I'm a real entity, you know I've got normal sized legs. But yeah, some people, they don't even show that. Some people have little pictures, strange little pictures, like what a kid would have. Like what a little child would have, because they're a bit scared. They're scared of being seen. Which leads me on to this. We've got, tonight I'm going to be talking about the Lollipop Guild and a person called, well, you all know of him, don't you? Stimulated Cynic, right? And as a reporter, I'm impartial. I'm not bothered really, but I like to cover all of Comicsgate's events, all the things that interest me. And lately, there's been a lot of shit going on with them. Excuse my language. With Stimulated Cynic, who also goes by the name of Ambient Aristotle, right? Now you're going to be finding a lot out over this report. I've had a lot of my contacts, my informants have been getting hold of me, sending me in stuff. When I need something done, Johnny Scab gets it done, right?
Come on, Del. Let's see your two pair.
Well, I've got a pair of aces.
Yeah.
And I got another pair of aces.
And I've gathered a lot of information. And bear in mind, the information you will see throughout this documentary, this report, is factual. It's stuff that's been given to me. It's not stuff that I've had any say in, all right? This is all other people's views that have been compiled, okay? Don't shoot the messenger. Now, this is Stimulated Cynic's profile picture on X. As you can see, it's very childlike. I'd be very, very alarmed that he's got a woman there, like a child woman with his dog, and there's a little man drowning in the background. Do you notice that? Whilst he's smiling. And he's got a blindfold, right? Showing that he's blind to the world, basically, while someone's drowning in the background. And I would like to say that little person in the background there, to me, that represents Comicsgate, right? Comicsgate. Now, many people have said that Ambient Aristotle, or Stimulated Cynic, is a grifter. And there is a lot of evidence for that. Even some of his own mates have messaged me talking about him. It's surprised me, actually, how many people actually don't like him. And they're starting to see all the signs that are there. They've been there from the start. Even in his avatar, look. Just got to look closely. And here are some of the reasons, scientifically, that people like Cynic use these gay little avatars. These are scientific facts, people. They cannot be argued, all right? This is basically the information about it all. While most people use avatars on live streams, do so for benign reasons, privacy, reduced anxiety, creative expression, or avoiding appearance based on judgment. There are indeed more sinister or darker psychological motivations in some cases. Those tend to involve deception, manipulation, exploitation, or avoiding accountability. Here are some of the concerning psychological profiles and scenarios that can play out. Hiding criminal or predatory behaviour. Anonymity, provided by an avatar, lowers the barrier to engaging in illegal or exploitative activities without easy real-world traceability. For example, grooming or predatory interactions, especially toward minors. A streamer can adopt an appealing, youthful or cute avatar, e.g. animal, girl, boy style, to build trust and parasocial bonds with vulnerable viewers whilst concealing their true age, gender, appearance or identity. This creates a false sense of safety and reliability for the victim. Scamming or fraud impersonators have used stolen VTuber models' identities to run fake streams, fan channels or subscription scams, tricking fans into donating or paying for this exclusive content, e.g. cases where impersonators copied a popular VTuber's entire persona, including voice and mannerisms, to extract money before vanishing. Money laundering or dark web adjacent activity. In rare but documented edge cases, anonymous streaming setups have been used to funnel illicit funds, e.g. through super chats, donations, while the operator stays completely hidden. Manipulative identity play and gaslighting. Some individuals use avatars to cultivate extreme parasocial obsession in viewers whilst maintaining total detachment. Psychologically, this can stem from narcissistic or sociopathic traits. The streamer enjoys the power of being adored, worshipped as an idolized character, but refuses any real vulnerability or accountability. When fans push for authenticity, e.g. face reveals, it triggers hostility or elaborate deceptions to preserve the illusions, sometimes crossing into emotional abuse of the audience, encouraging over-investment, then exploiting it. Escalated disinhibition and antisocial behaviour research on avatars and virtual environments shows that role-playing as a character, especially a powerful, edgy or villainous one, can lead to disindividualisation. People feel less responsible for their actions when hidden in streaming. This might manifest as extreme toxicity, harassment, or encouraging harmful viewer behaviour, e.g. swatting rivals, doxing others, while safely behind the avatar. Pushing boundaries further than they would on camera, e.g. more explicit, violent, or unethical content, because the disconnect reduces guilt or fear of consequences. Avoiding consequences for real-life identity conflicts. In extreme cases, avatars help maintain double lives. Someone in a position of authority, teacher, lawyer, public servant, who streams controversial, hateful content. Individuals evading legal restrictions, restraining orders, probation terms, banning certain online activities, or professional ethics rules. Chronic liars or catfish-style operators who use the avatar to sustain long-term romantic financial manipulation of multiple people. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that does not sound like someone you can trust, does it?
Left in the hood, come to do no good. Left in the hood, come to do no good.
We're going to take a little look into the scientific side of it and some online safety tips. This might be very useful to you.
The internet can have the most extraordinary impact on the most mild-mannered people. David Pogue looks at our digital divide.
Maybe you've noticed something very strange can happen when we go online. We become totally different people. So there is a Jekyll and Hyde thing happening.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
Paul Vigiano can tell you from experience.
Well, it was election night, 2020, and I was on Facebook, and it got spicier as the face got redder and the rage was building. I think I may have actually said, "You're an idiot."
To someone you know?
Yes.
On the great scale, that was pretty mild. But
for me, it wasn't. I mean, for me, it was pretty rough.
And now you actually teach communications.
That's the embarrassing part. One of the classes I teach is interpersonal communication.
Really?
My specialist area is forensic cyberpsychology, which is the study of criminal, deviant, and abnormal behavior, and I'm kept pretty busy.
Consultant and psychologist Mary Aiken cites 4 ways that online conversation differs from in-person conversation. First, you can see each other in real life.
So I'm looking at your visual cues. I can read your body language. We lose all of that online.
Second, online exchanges may not take place in real time.
Somebody posts something, somebody else comes back later, things can get misinterpreted.
Third, most online discussions are public.
If I insult you now, then it increases the shame and the humiliation and the feeling of being targeted.
Finally, online anonymity means no repercussions for being nasty. Add all this together, and you get what psychologists call
the online disinhibition effect. And effectively, it dictates that people will do things online that they wouldn't do in the real world.
That online effect can affect real-world relationships.
Sometimes you have to speak truth to stupid. And that's usually what starts it.
Do you fire back in kind when it gets to that level?
Depending on my mood, I just poke the bear just to see where it's going to go.
Robin has been there. She asked us not to use her last name. Have you ever cut off ties with people that you knew online?
I have. Some that were friends. I've had family that has unfriended me because of politics.
But Mary Aiken's latest report indicates that new artificial intelligence filters may soon help.
We found evidence of an emerging billion-dollar sector dedicated to finding technology solutions.
We could probably also recognize that never in the history of the internet has anyone's mind ever been changed by being yelled at.
No. No. That is true.
Now, as you can see, the importance, right? There's people online that are here for very bad things, right? Very, very bad things. And I'm going to be discussing some of those things, right? This is going to be a very in-depth look. So prepare yourselves, buckle up, all right? Buckle up and enjoy. So, what we discovered so far is that ambient Aristotle, or stimulated Cynic, is an online predator. And he's pissed off a lot of people. Comicsgate artists, fans, backers, people that just see him as an imitator. As he's very mouthy and he gets cocky for someone that's of such small stature. About a week ago, a prominent member of the Comicsgate community, someone who's quite legendary like myself, outed Aristotle, stimulated Cynic. He outed him as being a dwarf, as in a dwarf, like Wee Man from Jackass or Warwick Davis. He's literally a dwarf, and he tried to deny it at first. But then it opened a whole black hole, should I say? Because the thing that Cynic doesn't understand, right? Is he's a nobody when it comes to Comicsgate legendary, right? Legendariness.
Nobody loves me. Nobody. Oh boy, I sure am ugly.
Right? You got someone coming in to their community, to the Comicsgate community, basically trying to model themselves on me in Dark Gift, right? The format of our shows, the slams, Scab files, that sort of thing. Even Ethan Van Skyver, a lot of people think that he's taken over, he's trying to rival him. Obviously that's never going to happen, because he's not even like quarter of the man that Ethan is, obviously. And he got off on the wrong foot. A lot of people, it's strange because I know a lot of people, as you know, I'm like Comicsgate royalty. I mean, I'm John Malin's right hand man. So I know a lot of people, right? A lot of artists come in my ears, right? And I could safely say about 60% of Comicsgate don't like CG Church. The people that matter anyway. People that matter, the A-list artists. I spoke to them. I spoke to everyone about it. They all see him as grifters. Now, this is Stimulated Cynic's actual X profile, right? The little weirdo follows me. I don't even follow him, but he follows me anyway. That's how legendary I am. And some people don't look at it how it should be looked at. See, they overlook things. Like the first thing I noticed, being a critical thinker, when I looked at his little profile, was the actual description of it. Like, he gives himself away. I noticed the way he thinks. I mean, look at his description, right? Tibi muta sunt. Demoralize the enemy from within by surprise, terror, sabotage, or assassination. Now let's just take a moment to analyse what that might mean. Surely someone who sees life that way wouldn't be representing Comicsgate, would they? You demoralise the enemy from within, right? So shouldn't Stimulated Cynic be over in Ripperverse or something like that, or DC or Marvel? No, he's clinging to the Comicsgate community. Why is that, I wonder? Very sinister indeed, in my opinion. It's just obvious, isn't it? That's a Freudian slip. That's what they call that. A Freudian slip. And next up we got another Comicsgate outcast, Mike Wheeler, having a little go at Stimulated Cynic, basically calling him a grifter. In his own words, he's comparing him to Ethan, right? I found this quite interesting, because in a weird way, it's kind of still pointing out what I'm trying to get at. Even Mike Wheeler can see he's a little bitch, a little grifter that just wants YouTube fame, basically. Let's have a look. I'm gonna read the conversation out in their voices.
If the books mattered to you as much as the YouTube shit, you would be way more ahead, just saying. But if YouTube is your 5-year plan, good luck, I guess.
I got a plan, bro, but thanks for the concern, though.
You don't realize you've created your own trash cast. You're no better than Ethan or Tony at this point. Pick a target and ride them into the ground. You turned into the people you claim to hate. I warned you against this months ago. When did you make the call that talking shit about people was more important than imprint? Where's your book, Sin? You don't give a shit about being a creator. You want the YouTube clout, it's obvious. I can't get behind it anymore, man. I'm out. Good luck with the YouTube thing. Tell the guy that let his kids get cocaine in their system that I said what's up and calm as a bitch.
Yeah, Makita is about as degenerate as you can get.
Who mentioned Rakita? I'm going on Google Wigic's show tonight.
Just remember, the higher up in the YouTube chain you go, the more terrible people are up there.
Sure, but why are we talking about Rakita? I'm going on a good friend show tonight, so I get disavowed?
You told me last night you were gonna do something with Rakita, nigga. It has nothing to do with your plans tonight. Do what you want, man. Go have fun. I'm not disavowing you. I'm just done playing the game anymore. I'm not interested in an Ethan 2.0. Wish you the best.
So there, in that little exchange, you can see Mike Wheeler basically having a go at Stimulated Cynic, saying you're just going to become a little grifting bitch, ain't you? And I don't like Mike Wheeler, but he's right there, isn't he? Really, he's like, yeah, I don't want to be a grifter. I don't want to make like money off of exploiting my chat. Which is, I don't see Ethan as doing that personally, but if they want to compare, Mike Wheeler's comparing him to Ethan there because Mike Wheeler doesn't like Ethan. He despises him, like a lot of people. And here we have a little clip coming up of one of Australia's greatest comic book artists, basically the Australian Ethan Van Sciver, having a debate with Stimulated Cynic. Because Stimulated Cynic has a hard-on for Liam and has been trying to bully him. A little guy like that trying to bully one of Australia's biggest comic book artists and thinking he's actually got credit is just ridiculous, isn't it? He doesn't see that he's well out of his league. Here we go.
I'm not fucking around, right, man? Mm-hmm. You're fucking around with Dark Gift, Comicsgate, and other people that are going to fuck your life. Straight up. Straight up.
And here you'll notice we have Liam trying to civilise Stimulated Cynic, trying to explain to him the gravitas of his actions, like the fact that Liam's an established artist. Stimulated Cynic's got nothing. He's not an artist. He's got nothing at all. And he still feels that he's got the weight to be arguing with someone like this. You wouldn't see him arguing openly like this with Ethan, would you? Or John Malin or Shane Davis. Liam is on that level, right? In Australia, which is what you don't understand. And if he wouldn't have gone after people like this, like Liam, like great legends, like the Red King, he wouldn't have evoked the wrath of people like me, all right? So I see Liam as a brother. I see a lot of these Comicsgate artists as brothers. I've talked to them personally. I've actually became friends with them. When little rats like this try talking up, going above their station against someone who's better than them, it makes my blood boil a bit. Anyway, let's carry on.
Now, I've been here fucking for like 8 years. I know that everyone thinks I'm a fucking liar and a piece of shit. But I'm trying to fucking, from the start, I've been looking out for you and trying to fucking help you from the fucking start.
And I appreciate that, Liam. But the issue is,
you can explain it all you want, but you got no weight, you got no clout, you're fuck all, you're a nobody. They don't understand, do they?
You are hanging out with people that are wanting to fuck my life, and your words. Where these other guys haven't been nothing but polite, nice, help me with like, hey man, how do I do this in my book? What about this? What about that? Those guys have never done anything to me, even down to the Wheelers.
And there you have it, the meat and veg of it. He's fell for it, hasn't he? He's fell for Dark Gift's Greener Worm-tonguing, Mike Wheeler's Greener Worm-tonguing. You don't get it, kid, do ya? You can't be CG and talk to these people and be mates with them and discuss with them. You're not CG. It's like wanting to be part of the Nazi party but being an open Jew. It just don't work. All right, these people have sworn death to Comicsgate. You really think we're going to take that lightly, right?
Have never done anything to me.
What about what they've done to everyone else?
Did you notice how he says that in his smug little voice? They've never done anything to me. Right, yeah. But like Liam said, what about everything they've done to everyone else? You're just forgetting that, are ya? Don't care about that, because it makes you money. You horrible little... Disgusting.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. That's why I take slings and arrows for those people. That's why they're right now
You
trying to go,
shouldn't.
hey, man, I'm trying to be, they're trying not to fuck with Ethan and do these other things. Because I told him,
Do you realize, dude, that we had a fucking very rare opportunity, given all of the bullshit that had gone on in this space, where we could have actually, when we were all getting along, we could have fucking built something that worked after fucking years of people sabotaging it. Do you understand how important that was? And then you go and you let the fucking wheelers in your ear. You go, you let Dark Gift do this shit. You go straight to the fucking slums. Now Katie's fighting with everyone. You're fighting with fucking Frog Tony. All of this shit is fucked. And now we got people doxing each other and shit. Everything's a fucking mess, man. Everything's a mess.
Let me ask
you. Do
you
you
something.
understand? And it's
Yeah.
always a fucking mess. And we had a chance for it not to be a mess this time. We had a chance for it not to be a mess. And you let these people back in. They're bad guys. I might be a fucking clown, man, but I got a fucking heart. I actually care about shit. You know, I actually care about this movement. I cared about you guys, right? From the fucking start. Honest from the fucking heart, I did. Right? I'm not trying to manipulate you or use your shit, right? I literally fucking cared. I got stabbed in the fucking back, and you went and you started promoing these fuckers who were the ones that went out and doxed my house. It's still on Kiwi Farms. Who did all of this shit. And then when I said, nah, I'm walking away, you didn't give me my space, man. You followed after me and started with this shit and saying, hey, we're going to make a lol cow out of you. Do you realize that everything that's fucking happened, it's only going to get worse? And no, it's not going to get worse for me because my life's already been destroyed. I live in the middle of fucking nowhere. You don't even believe I live on a farm.
So Frog Tony exposing this little half pint, right? It's comedy gold. It's been comedy gold. There's been memes made about it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not taking the piss out of him being a dwarf as such. It's more the fact that he didn't feel comfortable enough to tell us and just own it. Like, I find it creepy. And the last thing anyone wants is a sneaky little dwarf creeping around.
Damn you, Frog Tony!
Cynic later went on to admit to Liam in that interview there, in that little talk, that he was a real estate agent and he hides his face so he can do horrible stuff on the internet, basically. He hides his face so he don't have to take accountability, like a coward. At this point, Liam says, well, why'd you sign that? Why don't you just stick up for your freedom of speech? And he says, because I got to. We have to. Because you're a little bitch. You got no balls. Now, it's well documented that stimulated Cynic, ambient Aristotle, whatever you want to call him, has little man syndrome, right? Even before we knew he was a dwarf, you could tell he had a angry vibe about him, like someone owed him something, like he feels like he should be up there with people like Patrick Quinlan and stuff like that, top creators. Right, he thinks he should be like a Comicsgate commandos. He even moans at people, right, when they don't promote shit artists. He's like, well, what did you do to help promote so-and-so? And he don't realise that their art is shit. Not everyone in CG deserves promoting, sorry. And here's a clip of a stimulated Cynic getting really personal and nasty. Bitchy like a woman, I guess.
Gonna do, sit here and make fun of me for being short. I mean, sure, that's fucking fine. People can't fix being short, but you can fix being stupid, fat, not having teeth, and being an asshole. So
now, to better understand how stimulated Cynic thinks, because it's hard to get inside the mind of a dwarf. I mean, I'm not a dwarf. I can't think like a dwarf, right? Here's a little bit of scientific research to help you understand how little people get more angry when they see people that are of normal stature with normal sized legs. They almost get jealous. It really makes them think, oh God, it scares them. It scares them a bit. So here's some scientific study into it.
Today we are going to study the fascinating male-specific disease known as little man syndrome. So Urban Dictionary defines it as the condition whereby short men compensate for their small stature by physically asserting their presence. One of the most famous examples of this was Napoleon Bonaparte. Well, Napoleon is dead, but his spirit still lives on through the lives of thousands of tiny men. When placed in our observation room, these two vertically challenged male volunteers spoke to each other civilly and without incident. We realized we needed a catalyst in order for the syndrome to manifest itself. So we introduced a taller male.
Hi, did you think you could just walk in here with your, like you own the place or something? She was hot.
The shorter males instantly felt their masculinity being threatened. They began naming off all of their life achievements in rapid succession. Male 1 boasted of his high-paying job. Male 2 displayed his many awards in limbo competitions. Afterwards, the taller male foolishly commented how male 2's shortness would provide an advantage in limbo.
I'm sure you're great at it because you got that. Oh, short. Yeah. What in the world is that supposed to mean? I will kill something right now!
This outraged them and they reverted back to their most primitive instincts. Eventually, the taller male sat down, and this instant height deduction pacified them. They spoke cordially amongst themselves until a female was introduced. The taller male stood up to greet the female. This infuriated the other males and they conspired against him. One of the males distracted her, whilst the other threatened the taller male aggressively. Then they engaged in risk-taking behaviors such as breaking glass bottles and dancing on them, planking at dangerous heights, and drinking hot sauce.
I think you need to see this. This is what's happening right here. Go drink it. That was impressive.
Finally, we introduced a second female who was on a college volleyball team. Her height combined with gender was too much for the male's delicate psyche to handle. They slipped into a coma and only recovered after we sent them on an all-expense-paid vacation to an island full of dwarfs. Obviously, not every short male behaved such as these two. Most of them were much worse.
As you can see, very informative based on scientific study, and that is how small people react. How they react to seeing people of normal or even average stature, just below average even. Because to a dwarf, even below average stature is tall stature, I guess. Next up, we've got Stimulated Cynic basically crying to an ex-account called Comicsgate Drama, who usually reports on Comicsgate News. And he's basically crying to Comicsgate Drama, saying about him supporting doxing and stuff like that. He's caught out that he's a dwarf and he hates it. I'm not going to read these out in the voices of the people, but you can read them as they get played on the screen, alright? This is him starting to moan at Comicsgate Drama, right? You can pause it if you want. But it's an interesting one. Right? He starts trying to make out like some innocent guy. Like Frog Tony has basically doxed a fake person that isn't him. He's like, some innocent guy is going to get the wrath now. He's basically coping very hard here. And you can pause this and read the conversation if you wish. But it's just a massive cope from Cynic. Before he kind of has to settle for it eventually, I guess. That just admit it. Just admit you're a little half man that women don't find attractive. And you were trying to get some sort of cult, thinking that you were a normal person. It's all right. Just be honest, own it, I say. Cynic basically continues until he's owned even harder by Comicsgate Drama, because that's all that happens to him. He just gets owned and owned and owned. But yeah, Comicsgate Drama is basically just stating the facts, and Cynic here is trying to cope massively, trying to say, oh, that's not me, that's some innocent guy, that's not me at all, you got it wrong. Just what Comicsgate does now, we doxing, are we? Says the man who's scummy as fuck, you know what I mean? It's a joke, people, it's a joke. Comicsgate Drama owned his ass here in this conversation, alright? stimulated cynic is... I almost feel sorry for the lad, you know? If I was born that little, I'd probably be angry and like soyish too. You couldn't help it, could you, sometimes? But yeah, this conversation here goes on for quite a while. Look at him trying to think. He's trying to claim that he finds it hilarious. Look, I expected CG drama to have more discernment. See, look at him trying to use all the, oh, I expected better. Well, set a fucking good example yourself then, you little fuck. Trying it. Who are you to expect anything of anyone? Comicsgate drama's been around for fucking ages. Who are you? Some little jumped up Napoleon? Now, here we have some official scientific statistics from the Office of National Statistics, and it's in relation to short men. The statistics of short men and certain things that come with being short. I hope you enjoy. Here we have a chart. This is showing you stimulated cynic's actual scientific height in comparison with normal men. As you can see, the green man on the left, 6 foot. That is around your average man, according to the scientists, right? That's your average man. Next to him, the little yellow man, below average man, coming in at 5'7", right? And that is scientific, that's about just below average. Then you've got the little red man, or half man on the right, which is cynic. Actually his real height that we've worked out, 3'9", which is well below even the below average man. So you can understand why the life must be so hard for people like him. It must be, and it causes them to get very angry, as I said. You can see it statistically here, people. It's not good. And here we have that same information put into a pie chart, and it's women's attraction by height. And as you can see, cynic's category is 1% of women, and this was all the women in the world. They got asked, pretty much every single woman, and only 1% were attracted to men of cynic's height, as you can see. And here it is a little bit more easy for you to understand. You got your average man at the top, 85% of women fancy that height. Then you got your under average man, the yellow one, look. 14% of women are attracted to that height. Then next to that in the red, you got the 1%. The little men, the little people, Santa's helpers, the lollipop folk, munchkins. Only 1% of women seem to be attracted to them. Now, here's a chart showing in general what women like in a man. And as you can see, all these categories, they don't look very good for cynic. He's probably got very low ratings on all of those categories there. Appearance, weight and height, etc. You know what I mean? He didn't get given the best cards in life, did he? So I'd say this chart probably doesn't apply to cynic. Here's a scientific chart showing you that small people actually earn less. The taller you are, the more likely you are to earn better wages. And here we have a scientific chart showing you height in relation to queerness. And as you can see, the smaller you are, the more queer you are. But then as it gets higher, you get even more queerer the taller you get. This is a chart relating height to someone's paedophilic tendencies. You're more likely to be a sexual deviant if you're really short. Look, if you look at the chart, the shorter you are, it's highly likely, very highly likely, that you're more sexually deviant. And probably like people your own size. And here we have a chart showing you the general trustworthiness of short people. And as you can see, the taller you are, the easier you are to trust. I guess that's because you're not as sneaky, are you? You can see a tall person, can't you? You know where they are. Yeah, I'd rather trust a tall man than a dwarf. And for any of you small dwarfs out there that are struggling in life to pick up women, find a partner with your confidence, here's a book that I recommend for you. Size doesn't matter. Go and look it up on Amazon, alright? It could help you. It could gain you an inch in confidence. Now, after Cynic couldn't cope, right, he started taking down his streams to try and hide his midget identity. Frog Tony and his mates were just watching some of his streams, right, listening to him. And he was taking them down live, actually damage control, you know what I mean? Like, oh no, they know that I'm a munchkin. I've got to delete these videos. And he was taking them down live. And there's proof. You can see it in the video of Frog Tony and his mates watching these videos. And they love it when they disappear.
Thing you possibly can to do as much damage as you fucking can. And guess what? Comicsgate's still going. We're still fine. Your latest gay op with your fucking gay op circle failed.
Go get
just
bent.
purge these people from the space.
I just did. Go get bent. Get bent like Cynic's legs. Come on.
Now, granted, there's other little people.
No! I thought I was going to get told. I thought that there weren't going to be any lies or deceptions or underhanded tactics.
Oh, look at that!
Cynic, I thought you were just going to tell me how it was.
Videos unavailable. Running. We didn't even get through any of it. You know what the sad part is? I'm going to leave in like 45 minutes because I have to go to work tomorrow. So we probably would have got through maybe another 10 minutes of the video, right? You know what? After I kicked Mindy out, they realized we weren't gonna get derailed by Mindy anymore, so they had to pull the plug. Guys, the plan didn't work. Plan B, pull the plug.
Pull out. Yeah, fucking it would have everyone's life would have been better.
You know what? Hey, Cynic, you're gonna have to private every fucking stream.
Everything.
Let's go to the next one because this was
everything
again.
I'm going to download everything, Cynic. Get ready.
That's what they do to me.
So here we'll go to the next one. Guess that confirmation. Cynic is a dwarf. First it was Katie hid, now ET is hiding too. He didn't quite phone home. Man, we got Katie doing it. We caught fucking. Did we get Sturgis doing it? I know we got Tiamat doing it.
Yeah, Sturgis did it. Yeah.
Sturgis
Ginger Wolverine.
Yep. Man. Dark Drift.
Yeah, Dark Drift.
Yeah.
Well, Cynic, aka Sin, and everybody just loves me. You know, I'm just a scam. Today's been a fantastic day. You got a lot of people that are very big mad, trying to run around and make a lot of jokes for me making jokes.
Oh, hold on. He said people are big mad making a lot of jokes. He's coping. Thank God. Mm-hmm. You saved us from watching that other one so we could hear you coping about us calling
this is the real content.
I don't know why he's going to get upset about this stream. Anyway, he just called himself a scamp, which is to scamper, which is how you describe running with tiny little legs. Yeah. So,
and he called us big mad, you know?
Yeah. You getting me, Sin? I'm down. You got me. I'm destroyed. Oh, no.
And you know what? That's the way it goes. That's the way it is. That's the way it happens on the interwebs. But chat.
In all seriousness, how many times has this happened to you live? I think 7. I think we're at 7 now. That's the count.
Yeah.
I said that I would do more of these. I said that I would come on and do more solo shows and hang out with you guys and chit chat and give you like a little bit of history, a little inside things, just my personal opinions without the gaggle of guys.
Please do more solo shows.
Is he kicking his crew to the fucking curb already? Hey guys, I don't need you anymore. I'm the fucking draw. I'm the big man. I don't need the crew anymore. I'm gonna laugh, Ruby. I'm gonna laugh when in like a month you're no longer allowed on his streams. When he tells you, "Sorry, Ruby, you're just not good enough." You know the same way I gave you the speech where I said, "You guys just ain't good enough to be on stream with me." I'm gonna laugh when Cynthia gives you guys that speech.
You hated us for thinking we are him. Cynic is exactly what you thought we were. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
You know, following me around and giving their opinions. Love them. Great dudes. They are my co-hosts. They are a part of Imprint. And
oh,
oh shit!
How many are we gonna get today? We're gonna get them all. Get all of them. You're gonna private every stream. Keep going. I'll be here all fucking day.
So ever since Frog Tony exposed Stimulated Cynic as being a primordial dwarf, a lot of people have been getting hold of me, telling me more stuff about Cynic. I've had messages from all sorts of people from all over the Comicsgate scape. These are a few extracts of the things that people have been saying, some of the messages and some of their stories, their takes on the whole Frog Tony Cynic situation. Now, I've done my best to stay impartial, as I'm sure you can agree. And I will be reading out a few of these for you now, just to give you a deeper insight on the situation. Here's one of my sources. You know about the Facebook images versus Cynic's own Twitter that 100% verify it's him because of the same dog with the same name, yes? I put, I didn't. And then he goes into showing me some of the actual photos of Cynic's profiles. This is his pet dog, apparently. And they do line up. So there's some evidence. Look, there's little feet there as well in that picture. Really tiny little feet. You can see, can't you? He says this is from Facebook, apparently. And this is interesting because this is actual proof. Look, see, tiny feet. Tiny feet. That's one of his takes. Look, that's one of his dog. That's his dog on Facebook. And then we go down. He sends me another picture. Look, another picture. And I do keep my sources anonymous unless they has to be seen. Yeah, and here's another picture. You can pause it and read that if you want. But they do appear to be the exact same dog. And here you can see the same source telling me that it was Larry Higgins that discovered this information. Now, some of you in the Comicsgate community will know Larry Higgins. He's another notorious character. And Larry is taking the credit, as you can see in these messages. And here we have some extracts of some of the messages I received from lots of different people. This one says, bro, I always suspected he was a dwarf. He literally gives off those dwarf vibes. These are some of the opinions of Comicsgate. The little guy literally hangs around with the enemies of CG in his chat. Like real enemies. People that would happily see CG burn. This is straight up treason vibes. How is he still getting away with this? I can't believe Tony discovered he was a primordial dwarf. Like, what the fuck? The plot twists just keep coming. What did Tony do to make the half-man angry? Steal his pot of gold? Bro really out there committing felony-level dwarf law violations. What did Tony expect striking back at Cynic? Never thought he'd literally discover CG churches ran by Simon Birch, laughing my ass off. The little guy revealed just hit biblical levels. Someone get this man a ladder. He's got a weird Peter Dinklage head. Why does this keep getting worse / better? I don't know, but I'm screaming. So that was some of the real opinions from the artists and backers in Comicsgate about Cynic. And now I'm going to show you the real story of a few of my sources. This is made up of two messages, two different takes on the story of Stimulated Cynic. And again, people, I will remind you that these are other people's opinions and facts, not my own. I think I've done my very best, as you can all agree, to stay impartial throughout this documentary. Enjoy.
guess Cynic will leave now. We'll go back down to
Yeah.
like
Cynic will go
one
back to
viewers, I
working
guess.
or watching his anime.
Right.
Go back to watching his teenage girl Maho Shoujo anime. It would be chaos. It would be chaos because Cynic would soften up like he does because he's a little soft boy. Soft anime boy. Soft fucking cat boy.
Ever since they
shit he is. He would soften up and be like, No, Johnny, you're right. You're actually a man.
Well, there you have it. An in-depth look into the world of stimulated Cynic. This is another picture that Tony released of him. So in conclusion, I'd like to thank the community of Comicsgate and the dozens of people that contributed to this Scab report. I'd like to say, please, let's raise more awareness for dwarfism and short people, okay? Let's not carry this on to a point where people bully people till they delete themselves and things like that, right? It's not that serious. At the end of the day, some people just need to be told, and other people need to know the facts of the situation. Thank you for tuning into the Scab Report, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope you've learned an important lesson. Don't trust these online rats, these people that are pretending to be your colleagues, to be your friends for clout and stuff like that. And especially if you're in the Comicsgate community, I'd like to say to anyone thinking of getting involved in it, or anyone that's new to it, don't get involved with Dark Gift or anyone in the slums or CG Church for that matter. They've already turned a lot of the people that used to be alright, they've turned them into rats, as you can tell. Thank you for tuning in. I've been Johnny Scab, basically Chris Hansen. You've been amazing. This has been the Scab Report. And remember, Johnny Scab's always watching. So be on your best behaviour. Adios.